Hello everybody and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Now, quickly off camera, I have gone ahead and dug up some space over here for reasons I will soon explain, as well as set up these small liquid tanks, or at least they will be small liquid tanks. Let's just go ahead and knock out a few points in there, drop down some of these here ladders. Oh wait, no, don't do that. You gotta knock out the points there and there. That's what I wanted to do. We're gonna drop in some ladders. Voila. Just like that, we're going to set everything to be dug out, and this will very soon form the basis of our new plumbing system. That's right. Maybe we could give these another row. You know, that's actually probably not the worst idea, right? Give this another level. I'm going to do just that, just to store a bit more. Just so we can store just the tinsiest bit more inside these tanks. Okay, wonderful. And that can be where it is, I don't mind. And this is actually going to be storing, and of course I start right when we go to bed, but that's going to be storing our water sieve. And then we're going to be converting this into a somewhat more functional bathroom. How do you pronounce words? I don't remember. Okay, beautiful. We're also going to be wanting to move around some of our bits here, because we're no longer going to be needing to refine polluted dirt into dirt. Simply for the fact that we're not going to be producing any polluted dirt if everything in this episode goes to plan. Now, I'd also like to move over our food production over to the side here, because it is producing quite a lot of heat pollution within the base, and I will show you what I mean just now. Slap in a micro musher, electric grill, and bada boom, a ration box. Why not, right? Let's run the power cables over that away, connect that stuff up. Thankfully, we do have time to survive. We have a bit of a surplus here, which will allow us to weather the storm of being offline for a couple minutes. We can also go ahead and deconstruct these, really. They don't need to be active anymore, not down here anyway. And as you can see, the temperature around here is already all the way up to 26 degrees, whereas elsewhere in the base, it's a comfortable 22. And I cannot risk these plants being anywhere close to 30. It's just going to completely jeopardize everything. I've also, in between episodes, researched artistic expression and interior decor, which will allow us to build these ceiling lights. There we go. So we can get... Now, it is a bit more efficient to build these 4 up, you know, 1 higher. You get an extra 2 tiles, essentially, either side, but really, for our purposes, this is fine. Okay, so that goes to there, that goes to there. Oh, and a bit of a waste, but that can go to... someone can get double illumination, I don't mind. That can go to there. Cool, and we'll just hold this bad boy open. Fantastic, and then it'll illuminate that algae terrarium as well and provide it with a bit of an efficiency boost. We need to link these up. They don't use much power, but they do use it consistently, so not the best idea to just, you know, sort of... I mean, I guess just to put them everywhere, but it's also not the worst idea. They do provide decor and, like I said, an efficiency boost to quite a few of the plant-based buildings. How are we doing for algae? We have quite a bit. Quite a bit indeed. Okay, lovely. That is all being put into place. We're going to want to run a liquid pump into both of these. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Just like that. And that's going to require some plumbing. Just like this. This can come up. Okay, actually, let's work out which tanks. So, let me sort of explain what I'm thinking here. Lavatories and sinks do not excrete polluted water, or lavatories don't put out polluted dirt, they put out polluted water, as do sinks, which is pretty damn great, because that means you can do it all liquid-based. Now, there's a bit of an idiosyncrasy in the game at present, where you can actually create a positive liquid loop by using lavatories and a little bit of polluted water to charge the system. Because when your duplicants go to the bathroom, this will use 5 kilograms of clean water and output 11.7 kilograms of polluted water, presumably to represent your duplicant's pee, which is a hell of a lot of pee, man. Like, wow, that's a big bladder. But yeah, it's so what you can then do is create a positive loop. So you can put in 5 kilograms, you'll get out 11, which means you can put in another 5, if you sieve it, of course, and you'll get out 11, and eventually you can run the entire system off of your duplicant's own urine. They can also wash their hands and shower in germ-infested water without transferring their germs onto their person. Now that is a pretty neat little trick, which we are going to do our best to exploit today. So we're just bulking this up because these items do need to be a bit taller. And then we're going to run our pumps. So now this can be our polluted water storage, which means that this pump is going to run into the water... Oh god, what have I done? This pump is going to run into the water sieve, just like that. And then it's going to output clean water into this tank. So we'll drop off a liquid vent right there. Perfect. Now this one here is going to need to take that clean water out from this tank and run it into these things, which we'll install up there just now. Okay, and then these things are going to need to feed their polluted water, which will be outputted at the top, and that's going to have to come in. And what's the best way to do this? Because we want to drop it into this tank, so we can come down over here. We'll throw in a liquid bridge right there, and we can then throw in a liquid vent next to that. Perfect. Just drag a pipe between the two. There we go. And that will output all of the dirty water to be sieved back in, to be fed into here, to be fed back into the system. And as you can see, it will eventually form a closed loop. Pretty damn cool, if you ask me. We are going to need to charge this system with some polluted water, though. And to do that, I'm going to have to actually delete that tile so that we can throw in one of these bad boys, which is a bottle emptier, and just sort of drip it straight in here. And that'll be dealt with as it's needed. Let's also just run all the wiring for now, just like this. And then we can connect it up once the system is set up and ready to go. We also now have access to insulated tiles, which are pretty great, because we can use some igneous rock over here to prevent heat from getting into, or heat from escaping, our cooking area quite easily. Oh man, we're already out of it. Damn it. Anyway, let's go. We'll sort that out later. Let's go ahead and set up this again. So we want endless mush bars, endless mush fries, and we want this thing to store everything. Or rather, this can just store. What do we want? Mush fries and mush bars. We'll worry about putting that in a sterile environment later. For now, this will do. We've got some polluted oxygen up here that's coming off that thing's water. Polluted oxygen is a bit heavier than regular oxygen, which is nice. So it does sort of tend to sink down, but if they're in the same room, they'll sort of just swirl around each other. It only really drops if there's quite a high pressure of regular oxygen in any given area. And oh man, I can't wait to switch this over to a better system so that we can get some air up in our cots. It's enough for our colonists to breathe, but stress is climbing slowly. Hey, okay, and I did the just was sort of picking off researches as we're going along. Kind of good to get them done. Let's get smart storage. Oh, we did get, there we go, a whole chunk one time. Perfect. We're going to use all of it eventually, so it's nice to get it done now while we have access to water so easily. And then this thing, let's go ahead and sweep out these tanks, priority 9, just so that they're completely clean, which means we can start submerging things. Because I actually do want to cap these off, so I don't want to have to come in here again if I can help it. There we go. Let's grab that. Perfect. Okay, so you are wired up, correct? Yes. And are you plumbed? For the most part, yes, actually. Okay, so it's just these ones that need to be dealt with now. So now we're going to quickly charge this system up with polluted water, and we'll set that at a very high priority. So all the polluted water in the base will now be taken and dumped in here. And that's going to be pretty germy. Pretty disgusting for a while, but it'll be good because we can sort of clear these things out. So let's go ahead and deconstruct one of those and that one because it's about to be finished up anyway. Oh, and they went to bed at the worst time possible, as always. Ah, the duplicants and their timing never ceases to amaze me. Our bristle blossoms are growing fantastically, which makes me very happy because those provide some pretty decent food when you turn them into gristleberries here. So food quality +1, that's right. And you actually get a net benefit because you put in 1600 kilocalories and you get out 2000. Pretty great. Okay, we can go ahead and throw in a shower. I typically just have one. We can then throw in a lavatory to replace the one we're about to take out. We can dig out those pieces and put in a sink. There we go. So medicine, sinky boy, and then of course the lavatory. Plumbing, lavatory, that can go right there. These use metal instead of rock, so it is a bit of an expense, but it's okay. We'll keep that deodorizer going for a bit longer while we still deal with these bits of dirt and things. Okay, how much water have we got down here? Several hundred kilograms. Okay, so we can go ahead and... Oh, cancel. We can go ahead and destroy this and put the floor back in there, which will be nice, and we can slowly get this thing turned over. Okay, that can also link up to that, and that. And then the output pipes can be linked up top like that. Beautiful. Just as easy as it seems. Let's also go ahead, I'm going to do a little trick and just sort of expand this one tile to the right. That's never going to be used, but the way the game deals with water is kind of weird. If this is one continuous pipe, right, then it will gain preference to push into the pipe. But if all of them are connected sort of at 90 degrees to a already existing pipe, which is what this will now be considered, then they sort of equally distribute inserting into that pipe, which is kind of useful. Okay, this can also just sort of get piled up for now because we know where the inputs are going to be. And I suppose the same goes for the outputs, doesn't it? Plumbing, liquid pipe. That's coming out there, and that's coming out there. Now, you're more than welcome to copy this system. It is a pretty good way to go ahead and get a lot of this stuff done. We can actually kind of turn the system on by plugging it into the grid. And you will see what I mean. As soon as the sieve has processed some water, it will pump through this. And these things will start to function. Why aren't you working? Oh, because you're in a valid building location. Well, we can now replace that. Lovely. The sink will soon be functional. Promise. You'll see. You'll see. Oh, man, and then we got some polluted water. We do kind of want to dump that into this, don't we, rather than just let it sit around. So let's go ahead and do just that. Bottle emptier, rotate, put that back just for a second while we replace this water. Because these will work regardless of whether or not... because the sinks, rather, will work regardless of whether or not these things are plumbed up. Okie dokes. Let's get all this done. There we go. Okay, so plumbing is going. So which means that our liquids are now being fed into here. And as you can see, that is processing it, which is being dropped off into this. And that is being fed back up into the shower and into the sink. So while our lubricants might be a bit dirty tonight, they will we'll disinfect the base tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Okay, so let's put in another sink, as we know we have to. Plumbing. Oh, no, I destroyed that pipe by accident. Whoopsies. There we go. That can go that way. This needs to get built as a matter of pretty extreme priority. There we go. So we can dump what polluted water remains in the system just into there. Okay, nice. And you're going to take polluted water at a very high priority. Hey, and we're just chugging through research like nobody's business here. Beautiful. Okay, we're not using that all yet. We will eventually. We are kind of pretty good for all of our basic resources at present, so pretty happy to spend a bit of time getting this sorted out. Okay, nice. As you can see, the water is working now both ways. Beautiful. And we're just going to just sort of get rid of what little polluted water we still have lying around the base. And then we'll close the cycle off. And as you can see, it is being sucked out and dumped in here. But it is still pretty damn germy. But as you can see, even though that is taking in filthy water, the colonists are not dirtier for it. Okay, so we've dealt with all the polluted water sitting around there. We're now just getting the stuff that's come off of this algae terrarium. Which, again, another nice sort of side effect of is that you can actually put this polluted clean water, the germy clean water, into algae terrariums, and they will destroy almost, I wouldn't say 100%, but nearly, I'd say 98% of the germs in it. And they also cool it down a fair bit. So that's a nice way of sort of doing some passive germ destruction, as you can basically put a pitcher pump into this supply and feed your algae terrariums with that. You can also feed your supercomputers and your microbe meshes with it without any consequence, because your electric grill here, if it fries up the mush fries, will destroy any germs present in the food. Pretty neat. Pretty useful to have. Okay, what is this problem? Do we not have enough power? Yeah, this system is sucking up a lot of it. That's okay. It will stabilize eventually, but this is kind of going to be a consistent drain on our resources, so we are going to want to upgrade our power bay pretty darn soon. Oh no, and as I feared, Liam has had a bit of an accident. Oh shit. Okay, okay. We need to make sure that's not happening anywhere else. We can't have our duplicants pooping into our water supply. Hoo boy. Hoo boy. Okay, plumbing. Let's put in another lavatory at like 10 jillion priority. Just the highest it'll go. Please, please, please get this done. Come on, boys. Come on, come on. Build it, build it, build it. Yes, there we go. Okay, Gossman, relieve yourself. Very nice. It is important that the system continuously runs because, and obviously, eventually we will have an excess. We will have a surplus of water, which is when we can sort of... I'm not entirely certain whether or not we'll bother treating the germs because it is so easy to destroy them. We might end up just sort of running any surplus here through a liquid valve, a sort of runoff valve, basically, which can trickle into this, and the naturally high temperature of this water, coupled with the sort of, you know, non-consequential nature, will destroy most of the germs we need to be worried about. Let's also go ahead and slap in some insulated tiles here, and all the way along here, just to ensure that we don't get stuck with too much hot sausage here. I don't know if that's a real phrase, but it's one I'm using now. Deal with it. Okay, hot sausage. Yeah, that's something people say, Miles. Ladders to aid in digging, and digging to aid in digging. Let's throw down some more ladders. Duplicates can only jump one tile over, so you do kind of need to do something like this. So as you can see, he's just going to swap those insulated tiles, the regular tiles out for insulated ones pretty much instantaneously. Some water might leak out, but that's okay because we are going to be storing water in here anyway. And this is at, what, 70 degrees? Yeah, that's going to destroy pretty much anything sitting in it. So we can set that up at present by simply putting on a liquid valve. Oh no, didn't mean to do that. Cancel. Didn't need to bring up daily reports. My mistake. Plumbing. Liquid valve. Rotate that bad boy. Slap it down. Liquid pipe connecting the two. And then this would feed into a... I don't even have to go that way, does it? This can just feed into a liquid valve. So we can kind of just dribble things in as and when we need to. Or even better than that, we could drop it in like right here. So we can stay above the waterline. Lovely. There we go. I could just go like, just boom, bada bing, bada boom, done. And that would be our germy water, of course. So we're just going to be careful with that one. Typically, you have to spend quite a lot of power to get water up to this temperature, so it might be kind of nice to stick it in like this. What are you being made out of? Sandstone. Sandstone isn't really the best one to do insulated tiles out of. Have we got anything else in surplus? Granite is pretty good. It has quite a high specific heat capacity, and so would actually be a better base material to build this out of. It's also got a higher strength. It's much harder, which means that, of course, it will store more liquid before cracking under pressure. And yes, the game does in fact simulate pressure, so just be aware. Let's go ahead and put that liquid valve on like a very low priority. I don't want that getting done just yet because it's going to start pushing water over, and I'm going to miss it, and it's going to be a problem. Okay, why is there a bunch of polluted water sitting here? That may have been a mistake, I think. Yes, okay, so this should contain what little polluted dirt we still have left. This thing does produce polluted dirt, so this isn't completely useless yet. It will eventually become redundant, but as long as this system runs, we do kind of want to process that polluted dirt, so we'll let that do its thing. And I mean, it gives us dirt in the end, even if it is unbelievably hot. Oh man, and this side of the base is just so warm. This is what I mean by heat pollution. See, it's just leaking through here like crazy. How are we going to contain that? How are we going to contain that? So this water is going to be a problem. See, sticking it all in here will help. And then we could kind of like seal it up using... Copper ore has a terrible heat capacity, but whatever. For now, we'll just stick it in a manual airlock. Yeah, sure. And that will help prevent some of the heat from translating through, but it is going to go straight through all this. Oh shit. Oh shit, we got a bunch of dirty water, which means that this is now polluted. Yeah, we are going to mop that up, but for the most part, it's not much germs in there, so that's kind of okay. What else have we got going on? What are we researching? What are we doing? What's going on in this space? We got smart storage being done. That's great. We're not going to be using that for a very long time. Speaking of which, how are our jobs doing? Oh, we got our apprentice miner has been done. You can be bumped up to a full-on miner. We'll deal with that in the next episode. Don't worry about that too much. And hey, our first harvest of bristle blossoms is soon to be complete. That will be lovely. How much meal lice do we have in stock? Quite a lot of it. Because then once we get bristle blossoms basically going, what we can do is, instead of producing mush bars and mush fries, we'll switch over completely and produce lice loaf and bristle berries. Basically just like that. Oh man, and yet more research is being completed. We are blazing through this. Let's go ahead and push all the way up to animal control, just because I kind of want to have that available to us. And then we'll probably go for renewable energy or valve miniaturization or one of the others. But I think I definitely want to have all of the ranching stuff available to us as soon as possible, because the next thing we're probably going to do is build ourselves a ranching station. Hey, and our first crop of bristle blossoms has come in, which is pretty fantastic. So we can start turning this over now from mush fries to bristle blossoms, and this thing from lice loaf, or from mush fries into lice loaf. There we go, beautiful. I think we still do need water, yes, for the lice loaf, we do. But the bristleberry requires literally just, it requires water to produce, but it requires just the bristleberry itself to produce the actual food item. Oh man, that Steam geyser was both a blessing and a curse. It is hot as shit in here, and I am hiccuping like crazy. God damn it. We are going to want to insulate this farm. Yeah, pretty soon too. So maybe... we don't really want to do this with granite, though, do we? We want to do this with igneous rock. It is much better at insulating if you don't have access to abyssalite. Boop. Oh, not a perfect... I mean, it's a start, right? It's a start. We'll sort it out. But we want to get all this properly insulated, at least to a degree, and we'll probably switch these doors out for gold amalgam at some point, because that has a really, really low specific heat capacity, but a rather high thermal conductivity, which means it sort of wicks heat away quite well. It also has an extremely high melting point as compared to copper. Oh, it's about the same. You know what, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I'm not entirely sure why gold amalgam is the preferred one, but it's sort of the one everybody seems to use. Yeah, excuse the random cracks in my voice, I am hiccuping like crazy. Okay, we got the oh god, we got the ranching stuff, which is nice. Getting agriculture now. Yes. Which allows us to produce the farm station, which lets us make micronutrient fertilizer to improve plant growth rates. Fantastic. And yeah, we can use our farmhand friend. Right, we could use another farmer. Anyone else want to do it? Who can? Okay, you're bad at athletics, so that's a no. You don't dig. That kind of sucks. But you do everything else. Okay, Meep, welcome to the party, man. And that's pretty much us. We're at 8. Yes, okay, Meep, you're going to live there in the corner, like the shame bot you are. And, oh, I completely forgot. We can put in... oh, god, that was a hiccup. We can put in some canvases to improve the decor in this place. It is pretty iffy. Okay, so a little insulated granite storage area is done. But upon further reflection, I have decided not to unleash the literal hell that is the 70-degree water into our base just yet, until we've managed to work out a way of effectively cooling this place. Now, the best way to do that will be to go and hunt a cold biome. And, ooh, we have a geyser down here, similar to this, what's this, a steam vent. We might have maybe like a cool metal volcano or something going on down there. The game's full of all sorts of wacky stuff. In fact, that's probably a priority, is to dig down that way. But I also want to know what's going on in this direction. Oh god, the hiccups. They still haven't left me. Because we need to know, right, what we're dealing with. And the easiest way to work that out is to actually just go and explore. We really, really, really do need to get into some... It's a real shame we've got these slime biomes on both sides, though, because typically there's a cold biome sort of directly opposite you. If we go down, we're going to get hotter, because we're going to go down towards the lava, and if we go up, we're going to go up towards space. And that would require us going through... oh god, the hiccups. Another germ biome, just like that one. So, I think the course we're going to have to plot, right? It's going to be a bit of a roundabout one, but we're definitely going to be going down, and then hopefully managing to find ourselves a bit of frigid ice that we can... well, the idea basically would you put some gas in a pipe, you pump it down, you circulate the gas in that area for a while until it cools, and then once it's at a certain temperature, using some of the automation systems we've unlocked through our research, we can then, once at a certain temperature, bring it back up and use that to sort of radiate the cold into our base and absorb some of the heat, and then take the heat back down into the cold biome, and just basically use its incredible amount of mass to reduce, to absorb that sort of heat. We're going to need radiant pipes to do that, though, so before we end this, we might as well set that up. Radiant liquid? No. I want radiant gas. Where is that now? Radiant gas pipe, right there. Okay, cool. So we're right on the edge of researching it anyway. That is fantastic. Everybody, I will see you all in the next one. I need to go and drink some water upside down and edit up these videos for upload. So if you've enjoyed the series so far, hit that like button. If you aren't, hit that dislike button. And if you'd like to see more, subscribe. I will see you all in the next one. Cheers.